Lobster Productions.
We are being hypnotized by people like this. Newsreaders, politicians, teachers, lecturers. We are in a country and in a world that is being run by unbelievably sick people. The chasm between what we're told is going on and what is really going on is absolutely enormous.
Oh yeah, dude. There's some Nephilim.
It's like we all know what's going down, but no one's saying shit what happened to the home of the brave. These motherfuckers, they controlling us now, and no one's talking about how they made us fight and be slaves. And everybody's just walking around, head in the clouds, and won't awaken to a dead in the grave. But then it's too late, we need to be ready to raise up. Welcome to the end of days.
Everybody is slaves, only some are aware that the government releasing poison in the air.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nephilim Death Squad. I am David Lee Corbo, a.k.a. The Raven. That is Top Lobster, the father of disinformation.
I don't like the hand thing right off the bat.
It was karate, and I'm just getting warmed up, dude. Also, did you know that it's free Slurpee Day? I feel like that's an important bit of information for you.
I just heard, and honestly, we have to cut this short today because I have some Slurpees to drink. But let's go ahead, do your thing. Do the
Patreon.com / Nephilim Death Squad is where you're going to want to be when we pull the stream from you disgusting pores. That's right. There's a bunch of stuff over there, including 12 hours of Bohemian Grove footage, raw and unedited, as well as an extensive backlog that we are trying desperately to chip away at. Yesterday was a bit of a marathon on YouTube and Rumble for all of our backlog content, and we still haven't put a dent in it. It's crazy how much content we've made. But all of it can be yours for the low, low price of, I don't know, whatever tier you want to sign up for.
$5, $10, whatever.
$5, $10.
Right.
Yeah, sure. Patreon.com / Nephilim Death Squad when we go behind the paywall at the half-an-hour mark. Joining us once again for the second time, we are inviting back to the podcast Perry and Brandon of the Hidden in Plain Sight podcast. They are doing cocaine.
That's the good stuff. This is the Chinese smelling salts, and they burn like hell.
Can I tell you, when we were getting ready, because for the audience who doesn't know, when the intro plays, I can see little windows at the bottom. It is so reassuring when I see our guest doing smelling salts during the intro. I'm like, this is gonna crush. These boys are ready, and I'm excited for that. But before we get into all that, we're going to talk about a number of things today. Epstein, was he a good guy? Dan Bongino, all sorts of people. Where can people find the Hidden in Plain Sight? Where can they find your work, gentlemen?
Hidden in Plain Sight Radio on YouTube, and then it's just Hidden in Plain Sight on all the podcast apps.
And the Patreon.
Yes, patreon.com / Hidden in Plain Sight pod.
Give us money. You can also find us at the FBI building working with Deputy Director Dan Bongino.
Very nice. How did you get that gig? How did you get into the good graces of sweet Dan Bongino?
You know, he's just a big fan of comedy. People think the deputy director is a serious fella, but he's a goofball when you get him, behind the scenes.
Was it a
man of many races, as we call him?
Was it the red do-rag that won him over? I'm a big fan of the red do-rag. That's a
red one. You like
move.
The red one? Yeah,
I do like
Dan Bongino. He's a big fan of wiggers. That's
and Brandon's been wig maxing the last 2 months.
It's white boy summer, so I decided to max.
White boy acting like a black guy summer.
Yeah.
Are you guys like uncomfortably tall?
No.
I'm like 6'2".
I'm just tall enough to not be short.
He's short.
Right, you got to say numbers.
All right.
Because I'm looking at you, and so you said you're 6'2", but you could be like 6'9", and from what we've experienced, all the people that we meet online, when we meet them in real life, they're all like way too tall. And
yeah, it's upsetting.
Yeah.
Really?
You won't have that problem with me. I'm perfectly tall.
I'm perfectly tall. the exact amount of tall that an individual should be, which is sub 6 foot, I would hope, right? Is that the case?
Exactly. Right at 5'9", perfectly aristocratic. Born to live in a castle, not work the fields.
Perfect. So I want to, because Top is right. Every time we have an event or some, everybody we meet towers over us, and it's very upsetting.
Yeah, you look like you have a bit of giantitis. That's what I'm saying, right?
He's got a
His
giant
brother's
tight ass.
actually his brother's huge. His brother's a massive human being.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I didn't get that. Although I guess now I have something to be self-conscious about. Is it my head? I do have a giant
He does have
noggin.
a big noggin. The hats are tough for him.
Well, you know, as a short person with a big head, I have about I measured it the other day, 8.25 inches of forehead. I don't know what to do with all of it. It's strange that God concentrated my face on the lower quarter of my head and then just left all this real estate. I really have to thank him for that when I see him.
What it is, I'll just be honest. So we've been meeting tall people, specifically like Owen Benjamin. He came to my house and then he had like duck under the door to get in. It was weird, but like as me and David were standing next to him, we're noticing, we're like, he's not really like built good. Like he's not put together good. Does that make any sense to you guys?
No,
like,
I had a midget roommate in college who had achondroplasia, and I think it's something about being too short or too tall. Like the proportions are all. It's not
I think
golden ratio.
well, you're either too close or too far away from the ground.
Yeah. He also had a giant ass. I don't know if you guys know that about midgets.
Well, they got thick thighs too.
Yeah, they have thick asses.
And that's why there's one of the Lila Hart, who's been on the show with Alex, has been doing like a midget stripper tour, essentially, which I thought was kind of gross, but also I do kind of want to go make it rain on a midget. That does sound pretty fun.
I mean, it's fun. There's a fun aspect of it, but
Yeah.
I don't like that you could dress it one way. You could dress it one way and say this is an adult stripper, and then you could dress it another way and say this is a toddler with its entire life ahead of it. I don't like that aspect.
I got in a lot of trouble. I'm just gonna air this out. I got in a lot of trouble for saying, like, making fun of what's her name again? I forget her name. You just said it.
Lila Hart. Yeah,
Lila Hart. Right.
But
you
said you were gonna.
I didn't say.
Yeah, you did. You did say that.
What I said was, so we were theorizing. There were 5 of them, and they do this on purpose. They were like a real little one, and then like kind of a midget, and then a Lila Hart, who is, she's a friend.
She's
I
like
know
4'10". She's like 4'10", 5 foot. Yeah,
but she's all upper body, so she's like very weird, like
Little
arms.
Yeah. She plays into it pretty good. Yeah.
And then they had like a regular size. Then they had one that was 7 feet tall. It was
a regular
crazy.
sized woman, a lady.
Regular size lady. And we were just saying, like, if you were to, let's say you had to go into this room, they were in a hotel room, and it probably smelled, and you had to all of them.
Because they were trying to kill you. You wouldn't just do this. They were trying to kill you.
No.
Okay.
I think it was just aggression. Like, you had to kill all of them. How would you do it? And they were like, oh, well, first you could, like, probably this one and do this one. And I'm like, no. What you got to do is you got to go in, you got to take the smallest one. She's like tiny. And she's also a porn star, which is crazy. So grab her by her legs, swing her at the and wow. And now the rest of them are covered in blood. They're shocked. You tell them to sit down, right? Everybody sit down. And then you make them each other. It's crazy.
Right.
It's psychotic, but it works. I got in trouble for that. But she's allowed to tour the United States. Like, we can't even do a show in Leesburg. You can't say in Leesburg, but she's allowed to tour the United States showing her midget to everybody. It's just unfair.
Have you guys seen her?
In Leesburg, well, I haven't, but I don't pay extra. But in Leesburg, of all places, you can't say that. Well, color me. The South really has fallen.
It has. It's been a really negative experience, and I had higher hopes for Leesburg, but we've moved on. We were quite successful. I was hoping you guys were going to be there, but when I extended the invite, I believe what you said was you, and I said, well, that's fair. I understand it. So hopefully you guys will come to the next one because we'd love to have you. I think you guys need to be on stage. I think we need to expose Dan Bongino, Stephen Greer, not David Wilcox. I almost called him David. We have a thing with Steve Wilcox, who's been basically an enemy of the people.
He's certainly no friend of ours. If you guys, I think you guys are in Texas, right?
Yeah, we're in Dallas.
If you see Steve Wilcox, I think he's out there. Let him know about the moon map.
Okay.
He'll know what you're talking about.
He'll know. All right, as long as he'll know, because I won't. But that's
it's fine. It's fine. There's no way he doesn't know. If he acts like he doesn't know, I mean, unsurprising, but quite a liar.
Right.
So,
well, we'll tell the deputy director about the next Bohemian Grove, and he'll have it taken care of. Yeah.
We've actually run into an issue where the Flynn funding has dried up in a major way. Not because he doesn't like what we do, just because things have been a little rough with him and the Trump administration and the extracurricular funds that they once had, they're no longer available, or at least that's what he tells us. So, yeah, if Dan Bongino can pull a thing or two for us, I'd really appreciate that. Whatever he needs,
he'll be on it. The deputy director's very reliable.
That's good.
Except when it comes to his race.
Well, yeah, but he's master of disguise. Sometimes he needs to be Asian. Sometimes he needs to look kind of black.
If you Google image search, if you image search Dan Bongino and just scroll through the grid, he's 9 different races. There's a white guy, like a Puerto Rican guy. it's insane.
I'm still actually unsure what race he really is. That's how good he is.
He says he's white on Wikipedia, but there's no
Oh, not a chance. Yeah, that's a good old Aryan fellow right there.
Whoa.
He's 9 different colors.
That's a strange... Do they tan? Is he black? Do they tan? I don't know.
Look at this one.
I don't know.
Well, first off, let me just say something. You went to the barber and you're like, give me a shape up like this.
That's crazy.
Is that, dog?
Give me the old crescent moon. I want a scimitar for a hairline.
It looks like the Little Red Riding Hood thing.
Why does he look so... Wait, scroll up a little bit, because his profile looks so different from the other profiles. Meaning like the side view of his head looks totally different from some of these other photos.
He's like it's an illusion. Depending on what angle you look at him from, he starts changing races.
It has to be plastic surgery.
Wow.
Botox?
Something.
Do you think he cuts his crazy thing? Does he cut his hair like that to show you how big his brain is? Because look at how big his head is compared to the rest of like normal people.
It's like
it's very bulbous.
It is bulbous. It's almost like he spoke to Netanyahu, and Netanyahu insisted that the yarmulke be part of it, but he's like, only in hair, not an actual fabric hat, but I will shave my hair.
Hold on a second. Who is this guy?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. See?
He's a liar. That's what Dan Bongino is. He's a liar.
He's a shapeshifter.
Interesting. Ooh, go to the one with one more time. Can you go to the one with the red shirt that's right in the middle there? Yeah, with the microphone.
Hell yeah, dude. That's the look of the deputy director. That's my guy.
Interesting. Quite a lot of hair on his upper arm too. I'm not a fan of that. What is so Dan Bongino? He's one of the guys who recently, we were once again not tempted, but what would you say? They dangled the carrot on the stick in front of us. They said, we're going to give you the Epstein files. And so when this new administration came in, everybody thought that we were going to get the Epstein files, and then Dan Bongino and Kash Patel came out, and they basically said, there's nothing to see here, guys. We're trusted sources of information, and there's no foul play here. In fact, we have video footage that shows that no one enters or leaves Epstein's. There we go, the dream team. Check these guys out. Another one. That looks like
his national holiday.
Yeah.
That's Eskimo.
Give me a
Dan
Slurpee,
Bongino.
Cash. You think they got free Slurpees at the FBI today?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. I think there's pictures of Bob's and Vagine all over the inside walls of the FBI office. So he comes out with Kash Patel. They break this news, and the entire public goes, hiss, no, can't be. And yet here we are, I guess what has been several weeks since that initial announcement where they're showing you whatever, this image that we'll get into it, that skips a minute worth of time, whatever. Yeah. And I know it's to make the public go, oh, see, look, soy jack. And so what do you guys, what is Dan Bongino's role in all of this? I mean, I know you guys have high hopes for the deputy director. But I don't know. It kind of looks like he's dropping the ball. Is this 5D chess?
I think the deputy director's got it all handled, and I trust whatever he says, even if it contradicts everything anyone has said for the last 6 years about the situation.
Including himself.
Including him. Well, but that's something you have to do as deputy director, is lie to the American people.
I mean, it is sort of a prerequisite, yes, but to go from seeing him, 4 years ago, constantly beat the drum on this only to get into a position where he could actually do something, and he's just like, no, psych.
I like that. I like that he was based for that's the word, right? Dan Bongino was impossibly based for years, and then all of a sudden, when he gets his opportunity, he goes, nothing to see here. Fascinating behavior.
Yeah, I don't like that they made Alex Jones cry in his car about it. That was tough to watch.
I hate to see Alex cry.
He's a teddy bear. Alex Jones shouldn't have to hurt anymore after
Very drunk teddy bear.
After what those children did to him.
How dare you? Alex Jones has stopped drinking, hasn't he? Hasn't he stopped drinking?
Sure.
Yeah, I believe that.
He's less
Look,
red.
he's in good shape.
He is. He's in great shape.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they've got ways to do that now.
Yeah, I mean TRT, but
super male vitality.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, methylene blue and super male vitality. My mistake.
Shout out to the Liver King.
Yeah. Well, liver failing king.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's been odd to say the least, just because there's so many easy victories they could have taken with the Epstein. Like, just lie and just say it was all Bill Clinton.
Yeah, or Bill Gates. Just pick some guy to pin it on.
I thought they would just give us a few people because it's an easy victory, or even come out and be like, "Well, Deep State destroyed the evidence," but they're not even telling us they destroyed the evidence. So it's like, all right, well, what's going on? Alex Jones was like, I think Donald Trump's probably using the child tapes against the Deep State. It's like, well, I don't really like that either, to be honest.
No, that they're using child is like gambling chips.
Yeah, I don't love that. I mean, look, if we get rid of 40 million people and I can buy a house, I may not care in 4 years, but right now, I don't think we're getting rid of 40 million people.
Right. We need bread and circuses.
Yeah. That's all I want, man. Nothing's really going to change. I just thought it would be cool.
It would have been cool.
From us.
I will say
Finding
this.
out.
I'm going to show you guys something, and I've changed my mind on.
I'm going to show you guys a child.
I'm going to show you guys some CP real quick.
Oh, which one?
Daisy's Destruction. Fine.
No, we have one of our friends, this guy, 7Cs. He's on the show, and he's been on a couple of times. And we're like, listen, we don't know anything about General Flynn. Come on and tell us about him. So he goes, okay, cool. I've made a chart. And the chart looks like this. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Look at that chart,
so,
guys.
Like, I don't know, maybe it's crazy, right? Let me see if I can
real schizo.
Dude.
Is he okay?
Yeah.
No, he's not okay.
Do we need to call the deputy director for a wellness check?
Well, actually, I mean, don't mention the wellness company because they'll lose your shit. But like,
oh yeah.
It'll be like one of these things in here. I'm not even sure what this is about. Okay, look, Lumpy Potato.
I don't know who that is.
He's connected to coffee. Who's connected to Viva Frey? Who's connected to the wellness company? And then they can go to somehow Zelenko Labs, and then that goes all the way back to whatever. So do you see what I'm kind of getting at here?
I love
and
it.
this is just a little bit of this map where we're like, tell us about General Flynn, and he's like, well, look at all this. And I was like, this is every company that ever existed. And he's like, yes. But at one point they spoke to somebody.
Exactly.
And then there's an arrow. So I'm like, we just had him on, David, and he went through this, and I was like, oh, this is great information. Sorry. But I was like, but at some point I was like, but how does this relate to General Flynn? And he goes, the wellness company, and then just like keeps going. So then so now I had to reflect, and we did a little bit of video editing, and I looked at like the charts as he's going, and I'm like, I could see how this could be it was a great chart. I mean, look at the chart again. It's crazy.
I mean,
Justin O'Keefe.
That's premium stuff right there.
That's what this community is about.
Yeah,
I want that distilled
induced charts.
I want that to be intravenously injected into my body.
I like this one. Look, so you got Myron Gaines, Walter Weeks, Fresh and Fit, coffee. And then
Is it just say coffee? Hold on a second, because I'm drinking coffee right now.
Oh, 77. You're in on it, dude.
Son of a bitch.
You and Fresh and Fit.
By the way, can we take a moment to thank our sponsor, the Wellness Company? Without them, this show wouldn't be possible. 1775 coffee.
What I'm saying is that like after it's real easy to be like, yeah, release the chart of the Epstein list, but I guarantee you it's not just a list, it's probably a chart that looks like this. And like everyone will be on it. Yep. And it's so do you understand what I'm saying? How it could get out of control real fast?
Yeah, well, because I've thought of that too. Is like maybe, you always hear in the conspiracy community, like the UFO guys are always like, well, they can't release this information. It would shatter too many things. It would throw the world into chaos. And it's like, okay, the Epstein list, assuming it is what we all think it is, could be a situation where it's like, hey, this would f up too much. We literally just can't do this right now. That's a genuine possibility. I mean, I remember we covered that Prince Andrew interview.
Oh yeah,
which is still to this day probably the worst, like the most destructive interview I've ever seen someone do.
Wait.
Yeah, it was.
What are you guys talking about?
He did an interview, I think it was 60 Minutes.
Something like that, or like an equivalent.
Yeah. In 2019, that's the one where he tried to explain how he doesn't sweat. And he was just
and that's why it couldn't have possibly been him, right? That was like
exactly.
He was accused of being impossibly sweaty. Yeah, he's like, my sweat ducts don't work. Actually, I have no pores.
That is still an awesome excuse to use. I'm not going to knock that at all. Especially because I think his excuse was like, I was in the war and I got too much PTSD and my adrenal glands broke, which is like, okay, buddy.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
Yeah,
but
well,
I mean, it could be why
he.
If your body's not purging toxins in any way, that shape or form, it could explain why he looks the way he does.
That's true. He's got like lead poisoning or something.
It's the blood of the children. They're high in lead.
And adrenochrome.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the only like reasonable thing I can think is there's just too many things. This will f everything up. But
even then, like going back to what you were saying, why wouldn't they just give us like a piece of bread to chew on? Just pick 3 people and be like, these are the guys who are responsible for this. Throw them to the lions, and then we'd be happy.
Yeah, it would.
That's a fair question.
An easy win. It's an easy win, which is where I'm confused.
Well, let me ask you this, because this is where I sit on it. I'm completely schizophrenic. The only reason I don't make charts is because I have no work ethic. And I was thinking that the reason this could be happening is because I look at all of politics as theater. It's purely theater. And some people go, oh, what about the local level? And I go, shut up, you dumb. Obviously, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the important.
You know what's crazy, David?
Theater.
So as I've been doing a lot of video editing on our episodes, previous than current episodes.
Oh, he's going to tell me I say the same thing every episode.
Create the highlights. Yeah, it creates automatic highlights because I'm using the devil to do this stuff.
Yeah,
and this guy, I can't tell you the amount of times there's like politics at the highest level is just theater. You say it 3 times an episode. It's wild.
Well, then when people, can you believe I had, because I made a tweet about that yesterday, and who knew it would take off, and everybody's upset with me for saying I never voted because I think it's all theater. And then I had a couple people accuse me of talking about politics. They're like, oh, why do you talk about it if you think it's theater? I'm like, do you not listen? I say it 3 times an episode, apparently. Even the demonic AI picks up on that. So, what I think we are being subjected to, and we've had people on the show like Drew Tang will come on at Drew Tang Reborn on Twitter, and he'll show us pretty convincingly that, as far as predictive programming goes, the Marvel films help to set up much of what we're seeing right now with like a lot of, this Avengers cast, the people surrounding Donald Trump, and basically like programming us to want this hero team to get together and fight off the aliens, right? The illegal ones. And so,
yes.
I mean, honestly, so what geez. And then we have this, right?
That's crazy.
They got to fire whatever Zoomer they put in charge of that account, man. We can't.
That's incredible.
We can't be doing this.
So disrespectful. Like, especially right after this week.
On the Photoshop front, it's not too bad.
No, I'm saying, after this week, after what he did this week, where just like with the whole Epstein thing, is like then you do this meme. They're like, well, I made the meme before. Like, they made it in advance. They're like, we got to drop it. Like, we've planned this.
Yeah, we paid somebody quite a bit of money.
Do you guys ever seen Marvel's Jewish superhero?
Yeah. It's like Captain Israel, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't remember if that's the exact name, but it's something to that effect. It's one of my.
Captain Israel.
I really hope they make that into a movie. That would be. And
100%.
It's funny because the comic it's from it's the Hulk telling Marvel's Jewish superhero that they need to stop killing children in Palestine.
No way.
Yeah. It's like it's a
Is
whole
that a black
panel
woman?
Of,
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's Dan Bongino.
Yeah, but it's the Hulk being like, you got to stop killing innocent kids, and the Jewish superhero's like, no.
Not gonna
my
happen.
God, this is crazy.
Iron Dome.
Why is it a black woman?
Power and peril in the promised land. Holy
baby.
Are those missiles coming out of her fingers?
Yeah, dude, that's the
yeah.
It's a dead
children.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. So what given that I think it's theater, and given that I think it's kind of predicated off of the formula that Marvel movies would go by, there has to be, within every good superhero movie, a moment where all hope seems lost.
Right.
And I think that we've entered that, and I'm not saying that this is going to be good either, that they're going to, that Trump is the good guys or anybody's the good guys. I think it's all bullshit. But, I mean, I think they are these kids, but to put that aside. I think that it is an incredible plot device, and that it'll only be utilized when it's time to move the story along. So right now, I just feel like that's the only context, because you're saying this doesn't make any sense. Why not just serve up somebody, anybody? Just, say it was Rudy Giuliani. Who's going to give a shit, right? Just somebody. Give us somebody. But instead, they give us nobody. I think that we're at the all hope is lost stage, and I think they're waiting for a moment to move the story along and galvanize the people to one side of the narrative or the other.
I think if they were doing that, they would have blamed the Democrats for it in some way. Like, they would have blamed the previous administration to set up like this impossible obstacle they would eventually overcome. Because now the obstacle is either they're lying or incompetent, which isn't like, that doesn't reflect well on them.
The Fantastic Four, hope they could pull it out in Act 3.
Yeah.
I think he might still be alive at this point. I think Jeff Epstein might pop out of one of these press conferences and, rip a mask off, and QAnon's going to be right.
That would be a payoff.
I hate the QAnons, but it would be really funny if they end up being right.
They're not handling this whole thing well. The lack of the Epstein list is really, every so often, there's not many QAnon guys left, but I like to go check out the Great Awakening.win. And
.win.
Yeah, I know. Well, they got kicked off every other portion of the website. Yeah, it should be.
The Great Awakening.win?
Yeah, that's they regrouped there after they got kicked off of like Reddit and 4chan. They're like online Jews. They just get kicked out of every website.
109 servers they've been kicked out of. Holy dude.
But yeah, they are. There's a lot of meltdowns going on. For the most part, the people left are like really true believers, so they're hanging on. But every time something like this happens, they lose, I don't know, another 10%.
I wonder what their rationale is right now, how they're trying to because I when QAnon first hit the stage, I was very interested because it was a fascinating sort of it's like an IRL RPG or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? There was one that they did with like Project Cicada or something like that, where they
Cicada
made this
30 something.
Yeah, and it was this interactable, like real life mystery RPG that was taking place, and people were trying to decode it and like that. So Q felt very much like that, but it had real implications because Hillary Clinton's drinking babies, and there was a time where you got all those really weird things like the envelope at the funeral of George Bush Sr., or when Hillary Clinton really didn't want to get in that car for whatever reason, or when Merkel was like shaking. Remember that, where she was having like some sort of withdrawal. So there were things that were happening around that time that were super sexy. And then, but when you get to the top of it, I spent like 2 or 3 months like really enamored, and then all of a sudden it's like, and by the way, Donald Trump is gonna save them all, dude. He's the guy. And I went, oh, that's the thing? Well, Donald Trump is the guy?
Here's a question. This is a question for you guys. Why, like, nobody cared about the Epstein list until Donald Trump
put on the mask.
Until Donald Trump made it sexy to care about it.
Hell yeah.
Because I know like Ryan Dawson. I'm following him for a long time. I actually hate that guy now, but he had the list for a long time. He was talking about it in Korea or wherever he's at with his Asian wife, and nobody cared. Nobody cared until Donald Trump was like, he put it in the forefront, and then he got the arrest. So it's like, why would he even make it happen? Why would he start that ball rolling and that all the way till now to tell us it was nothing? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like,
it only makes sense through the theater lens. Out of that, that's my opinion.
But what theater is this? This is like bad theater.
One.
Well, like Marvel movies, it's disappointing in the present. It sucks, honestly.
Yeah, this is She-Hulk.
Yeah, I am not enjoying. Get Megan the Stallion out of my superhero show.
God,
I want to watch the Hulk beat up robots.
That's it. What a disaster. I don't know, man.
Black Captain America, not on my watch.
Didn't Didn't it feel like for a second we were, I don't know what it is. It's like a constant edging and they don't want us to come, right? Where they just continually, it's like all of a sudden there is Cash Patel and Bongino are now getting into the FBI before they announce that there's nothing to see here. And it really feels like things are going in this direction. And you have Elon, who is tweeting, not only is Donald Trump on the list, and then he goes, I'm sorry, I got a little carried away when I said that. But he just accused somebody else of being, was it Dan Bongino?
Bannon.
Steve Bannon.
Steve Bannon. Sloppy Steve Bannon.
What do you guys think? Is Steve Bannon on the list?
Probably. He does seem like a super villain. I don't know. They're probably all on the list at this point. Ed, I want you to prove you're not on the list.
This is what I'm saying, guys.
Yeah, I want to put a sexy child in front of you and see if you can hold back.
Yeah, this is the list, guys.
Essence monitor. And
this is what we're gonna get.
That's probably what it is. It's the wellness company. They did it. They run the island now.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it probably was. I mean, maybe. Who said that? Top. There was somebody on Twitter. The guy that dresses like a Native American. He said that he's like, what if the problem with the list is that pretty much everybody rubbed shoulders at some point, bumped into Epstein. Doesn't necessarily mean that you were at super cool parties doing super cool things. It just means that you were within proximity of him. And without any nuance, if you release this list, it's like, 3/4 of the government and Hollywood are all compromised suddenly, or 3/4 of politicians, and they just get, baby with the bathwater.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe there's some validity to that.
Didn't Trump say something like that at one point where they were asking him about it, and he said like a lot of good people could be harmed if they put out the list?
Well, I'm not positive on this, but I'm pretty sure Jeffrey Epstein might have introduced him to Melania. So he's probably in there somewhere, which
I'd be shocked if he was not on it.
Yeah, I don't know in what capacity, but like he knew Jeffrey Epstein. They partied together. It's like he's in it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm with Top. It's just confusing because there were so many layups to be had. Or again, at minimum, just be like they destroyed it, because they probably did. The evidence is probably gone, or it's in Israel with, I don't know, but just say it's destroyed. But to just be like, actually,
it never existed.
It wasn't even there.
It's all a figment of your imagination.
Nothing to see.
What a twist.
Yeah.
Well, I think a good question to ask ourselves as Americans now is, do we care? What do we actually care about? Is it like the kids, or is it like the Diddy party, right? Like, do you care if some black rappers are just each other at a Diddy party? Like, does that matter to us?
Well, no, I think that's part of being a rapper. Apparently,
that's how you make a hit song.
Yeah,
dude.
Inspiration strikes where it may.
But yeah, I think. I mean, I don't think anyone actually cares. This is just the life cycle of these things, where it's the most important thing in the world for however long. The Epstein list stayed around longer than you might expect. But, I mean, the most important thing in the world 2 years ago was Ukraine and Russia, and now no one gives a about that. They're on to other. So I think this is just one of those sort of cyclical topics where, for the time being, people are very interested in it, but something new will come up and sort of distract everyone.
Maybe, but people are pretty mad about this one because a lot of people have been made to look very foolish.
Yeah, well, so many people base so much of their content on the fact that Trump was going to put out this list and he was going to, save the world or whatever. So it has made a lot of people who are dumb assholes look like dumb assholes, which I do think is funny. But
Dan Bongino.
Yeah, Dan Bongino included in that. But I think I'm not a politics guy either. I've never even registered to vote. So I
refuse to. Yeah, voting's.
I kind of expect this to happen, where I never anticipate a politician is going to do something that I like. So I'm never let down by this because I just know it's not going to happen. If there's anything the public really wants to have happen, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it just would have been funny, to be honest.
It would have been cool. It would have been exciting. Somebody said, there's a quote from somebody who I don't remember because I don't read well, but it was like, politics is the theater department of the military industrial.
Saying this, David, I'm gonna lose my
Oh no! I'm sorry. I injected the word theater. Politics is the entertainment sector.
He can't help himself.
of the military-industrial complex, and I went, that guy sounds smart. That sounds like a real smart guy. Whoever said that?
I said Thomas Massey said that.
Thomas Massey said that. Is that true? I don't know anything about him. I mean, what do people actually care about? It was the question that you were asking before I went piss. So that's all I have to grab onto. And I don't know, because I was thinking about it today. It was like I posted something where I said, I've never voted, right? We talked about that because, politics is theater. And people got mad at me. And I thought about that. And I'm like, if I just go outside, like none of it's real. And I get it, to an extent. You're going to have your gas prices, you're going to have this and that, your dollar. Really, the economic impact of political decisions is very tangible, short of getting bombed like a ground war, World War III style. But if I walk outside with my family and I go and play catch with my son, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. And then you have to ask yourself in that context, like, what do you actually care about? And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying I don't care about kids on Island. That's a really wild thing. But what I am saying is
game show.
That's the one,
Harvey.
Where you're talking about bringing a politician out and putting a sexy kid in front of him and being like,
the children?
You doing what? Put it on the board.
Show me anal rape.
Look, I mean, maybe I've been desensitized. Maybe 5 years of dangling the island list in front of me has made me callous, right? And I no longer have the same energy about liberating the children. I mean, we've had people on the show, who was it, Top, where we were talking about whether or not that little girl who gripped the nation, who was like murdered. Remember, she was
Ramsey.
Benet Ramsey, yeah. Whether or not she even existed. And then after we were done talking to her, I was like, that little didn't exist. So, because I believe anything.
We did like Sandy Hook episodes, and then like I can't remember the last mass, but it was recent. I can't seem to care either. Like,
right,
especially if it's in a, like, I'm just like, it doesn't move me anymore.
Really, all it does is make me mad at like the public education system, and not really the school. So
mad enough to the school.
Mad enough to do something about it.
Yeah, show those bullies his boss.
Yeah, I'm gonna go save some taxpayer money. Get
my do-rag.
Children.
But so after doing that episode, the Sandy Hook episode, I go, I don't even know if any of this, how much of this is real. Even the Texas floods, which I know people are drowning in Texas. Don't get me wrong.
You guys seem fine. I don't.
Yeah, right, but you guys are crushing right now.
It doesn't exist to me.
Well,
right. So
it rained pretty good for like one day.
Yeah, it was. We actually did have a flash flood warning, but
they did.
But you guys get that
state
kind of in Texas. It's a very strange place to be. I remember when they got taken out by like frost. When Texas got taken out by frost.
That was like right before we moved here.
We managed to dodge that one.
Oh, you guys were like, that looks like a good place to go. Is the place that got taken out by a frost?
Better than LA.
Better than LA. That's how bad LA was.
I'll give you that. But with the Texas flood, I'm now seeing like AI flood images, and I'm like, I don't know what's real anymore. So when we talk to this lady, she talks about how even the dome on the Epstein island, whatever, was made of like paper. And then she showed us something. Remember that? There was like something she showed us where I was like, for f***'s sake, that does look like it's made of paper. And it was like, she's trying to convince us it's a Hollywood set. And I'm just like, damn. I mean, it is kind of like the government. To do everything at the bare minimum level, you probably have to invest a lot more money into an operation to actually kids. But if you could just make a backdrop and then convince the American public that there are kids getting, maybe you could use that to your benefit. Maybe you could cut some corners. Maybe, but what I'm saying is maybe no kids are getting. Am I crazy?
Yeah, maybe those kids were lying.
That's what I took away from that.
I say kids that all the time.
Yeah, all the time. They're constantly lying, especially about.
They're liars and they're stupid. They're easily tricked. So maybe they should stop going to islands because they get promised free candy.
Yes, in exchange for some Sour Patch Kids. They let some guy.
That'd work on you though.
Yeah, that would.
A bag of candy will get Perry to the island.
Yeah, I would have got as a kid if they had sour candy.
Oh, I meant like this week.
Maybe, yeah. If I'm hungry.
Well, think about
enough.
how much they'd have to pay in government workers and transportation to actually you. Wouldn't it just be easier to tell people that you got right? I mean, and then
but if you want to bust,
I think for the people who need that for the sexual deviance, I think it's the juice is worth the squeeze to them.
The juice?
Because that's yes, the juice. No, the juice. I think the juice is loose, but I think those people they're so twisted that they've got to the kids. It's the only way they can come.
Well, it's a vacation.
I'm just
trying
saying
to have a daiquiri and enjoy myself.
And
my kid makes up a lot of stuff.
Exactly. And
I don't know what to make of it. I'm like, we're supposed to trust a body of children to tell us the truth. Yesterday or the day before was Tom Hanks' birthday. Sweet Tom Hanks. You may know him from such films as Toy Story. He played Woody, the toy, and it was his 69th birthday. Nice. That was like 2 days ago, something like that. What do you guys? Do you think? And I'm not asking for hard evidence here. I'm asking for wild speculation. Do you think that Tom Hanks has with children?
Yes.
Right.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I personally, my favorite Tom Hanks is when he was the who got from that whore.
Philadelphia, right?
No, Forrest Gump.
Oh.
Yeah. Jenny, the biggest villain in the history of film.
Wait, did Forrest Gump get? I've never finished Forrest Gump.
Gives him because she's a junkie prostitute who's like heroin.
That's very dark.
And then he has to raise that kid because she dies of it.
Jesus Christ!
Is that really what happens?
Watched Forrest Gump?
I fall asleep every time. It's very boring.
It's a bad movie.
Yeah, it's terrible.
He starts the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company because Bubba dies in his arms in the war.
Had I known about the angle, maybe I would have stuck with it.
Yeah, well, you got to go back and rewatch it. It's actually a comedy in that regard. Yeah,
I've not seen. Isn't Philadelphia? Isn't he a mailman in Philadelphia?
No, I don't know. I just remember the in that movie.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen it. I just memorized the list of movies about it.
Yeah. It's our top 10. Yeah,
I just
most
think that
rewatchables.
A man who is so ingrained in the culture and who is the sort of the star in the eye of children around the world as Woody, right? One of the greatest films ever, Toy Story. I don't think that he would then turn around and molest those children that he was entertaining. That seems
that's the perfect ruse, though, because think of someone like a Jerry Sandusky, where he had the
access,
the children's charity for the purposes of raping them, or who's the dude who fingered all the gymnasts? Larry Nassar.
I'm sorry,
he did that too. Larry Nassar, the guy who all of our gymnasts at the Olympics.
Wow.
He has a great. The only form of entertainment I enjoy is watching police interrogation videos. Yeah. He has a fantastic one where he brings out a PowerPoint to try and explain why what he did was not. And he says, as a doctor, he invented this new technique to sort of adjust the spine. And it just so happens involves inserting fingers into children.
Yeah.
Well, that's
the world's
interesting.
Greatest gynecologist.
I have seen videos where people will adjust people's backs and they seem to be digging in their asshole. What I would have said is, you know that move where you hold them in the air, right? In gymnasticism? They seem to always be just cupping their vaginas.
Right.
I don't know. Did anybody ask what the gymnasts were wearing? That's also probably part of it. I've seen
probably leotards.
Right. Yeah, that little onesies. That's quick access.
But they won a lot of gold medals, so I mean,
the adjustments worked. Say what you will.
Yeah,
but it paid
off. Why are we
off.
questioning his methods? I don't understand this. If we're winning gold medals, look, guys, I want to put a pin in it right here because we've given the people 16 extra minutes of free content, and that is not our style. That's really disappointing that we've done that at all. If you're watching on wherever you're watching, Rumble, YouTube, other places, stop, because we're going to be going live exclusively to patreon.com/Nephilim Death Squad, where you can continue learning about Sandusky and all these other people and the gymnasts and how they got fingered. And you can do it for the low price of probably like $5. You could even sign up for a 7-day free trial. Otherwise, we're getting out of here. Goodbye, disgusting poor people. And hello to our exclusive favorite audience, the audience who pays us money to listen to our content. We love you guys, and we're happy you're here. All right, so yeah, I mean, I guess that is a kind of a thing that shows up a lot. Like, there's a lot of speculation about Ashton Kutcher and whether or not he apparently murdered his first girlfriend, which I forgot about, and I was reminded from an Owen Benjamin clip. Ashton Kutcher's like fiance or girlfriend was murdered by a serial killer. Ashton Kutcher found the body, and there's a lot of weirdness surrounding like how that unfolded. Very, very suspicious. Also, his co-host, or not co-host, I guess co-star on That 70s Show, I forget the guy's name. He went away for
Danny Masterson.
Danny Masterson. Yeah. Right. So that's interesting. What an interesting correlation. And then you look at Ashton Kutcher, and he has a foundation for, I think it's for rescuing trafficked children, which is fascinating
it's
because
sex trafficking.
Yeah. So you want to talk about access, right? Where it's like, it seems to be, and I'm not saying this to besmirch the great Tom Hanks, but it does seem to be that there's a trend where, like you guys just laid out with finger blasting gymnasts, often these predators, they'll be in close proximity to their prey. And then you have a guy in Ashton Kutcher who works with trafficked children. Do you guys think that Ashton Kutcher is a finger gymnast?
Oh, yes.
Yes,
absolutely.
Just look it up.
100%.
Well, didn't he ended up dating what's her name?
Mila Kunis?
Yes, Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
But she was underage on That 70s Show, so maybe that was the beginning.
It was the
of all
70s,
this.
though.
Yeah.
You're allowed to do
She got that job when she was like 15 or something. Yeah, that's what the 70s was about.
Yeah.
That's the entire show.
That's all you did. We didn't have rules back then. It was a better country.
Yes, it's before we got into the school era. It was the kids era.
Yeah, but I think this has been going on a long time, because you have someone like Da Vinci, who used to travel with his twink that he used for all of his paintings and his sculptures. So, you had Da Vinci in the Renaissance era being like, hey, you want to be in a statue?
You want to be a star?
Yeah,
kid?
you want to be a statue? Come on, 15-year-old. So I think it's been going on for quite a while.
I think creative people in general, at least that flavor of creative person, they tend to do creepy sexual a la Roman Polanski or the like.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it's like artistic. I don't know if they all just read Lolita and they're like, that guy's cool, and decide to imitate it.
It's the price of good art.
Yeah.
You can't be a good person and do good art.
There's a girl, I forget what her name is. She's like a newer artist, like a pop singer. And, by the way, Leonardo da Vinci did have a close relationship with a 14-year-old boy named Francesco Melzi in 1506.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very normal.
Hey, okay.
Yeah. Nothing weird about that.
Hey, put on this dress. I need to paint a woman.
I think Achilles also had like a young kid going around with him. It was
this is the original
Spoils of War. Spoils of War, as they say.
Yeah.
That was just like an ancient fleshlight where it was like young boys. You just kind of carry them around with you and, them real quick and then go off to war.
Yeah. Satiates the bloodlust.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think now we understand semen retention is good for war. So these guys are really doing themselves no service. I forget what the hell the name of this girl is, but she is she's like working on an album. And oh my God, G-Pie Jonathan with the real Achilles heel. That's what did him in, huh, G-Pie? So there's I wish I could remember her name. She's a big pop star.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabrina Carpenter. What is Sabrina Carpenter doing? She's like she's either named her album or one of her songs, like, or she's playing. What the f is she doing? She's doing something that's homage to that film you mentioned, Lolly or Lolly or
Lolita.
Lolita. I'm sorry. Yeah. Which is, I've learned on a recent episode of Timeline Cleanse. It's all about a love interest between a creepy dude and like a little girl. And so she's done something recently, Sabrina Carpenter. Maybe we can find that. Sabrina Carpenter, that seems like a risky.
Are you talking about the photo with her on the leash? There was a photo of her like on a dog leash.
I think they're like using her hair as leash.
Is that what it was?
I think so.
I remember there was something a few weeks ago.
I'm more of a Chapel Roan fan as opposed to Sabrina Carpenter.
He listens to Pink Pony Club before every stream.
Little
I'm not
Pink Pony
kidding.
Club, yeah,
That song is just about being a whore. It's a crazy song. I listened to the lyrics one
That's
time.
why
And
I
it's like,
like it.
sorry,
That's why I
mom,
like
I'm a
it.
slut now, and that's
That's-
crazy.
That's my jam.
It gets them all amped up.
Yeah, a little hot to go
Yeah.
before you go on the stream. Oh yeah,
Is that the same lady? Hot to Go is the same lady?
yeah, Chapel Roan, dude.
She's got some bangers. Okay. This is from December 4th. I didn't realize this was this long ago. 2024. Okay. Christmas is coming early this year. I wouldn't count on a silent night, says Sabrina Carpenter, with a wink and a toss of her blonde hair in the trailer for her new Netflix festive special. No. This isn't. So apparently what's happened is she's done something that she's paying homage to the film Lolita. And when people called her out on it, she goes, "Oh, I didn't know what that movie was about. I had no idea." Which is hilarious. You want to talk about, Prince Andrew being like, "I don't sweat," and that's why it couldn't be me. Sabrina Carpenter paying homage to a pedophilic fantasy film. And then when she's called out on it, she goes, "I had no idea that it was even about that," which is...
Well, it's even better that she's not talking about the book that the movie was based on. Like she didn't even know about the movie.
Book. Come on. I assume it was probably just her producer being like, "I got a great picture you could recreate, Sabrina. They're gonna love this one."
I mean, that's the plausible deniability angle, right? Where it's like, I imagine if you are caught up in a whirlwind of press and you're working and all these other things, you're depending upon your team to lead you one way or another. And when they say we have a good opportunity for you, I could understand how you might go like, all right, sounds good. Where do I have to be and when do I have to be there? And then you don't realize that really what you've done. But it's like, it's such a quick Google search away. Just look up the name of the film that you're paying homage to. I kind of am inclined to think that she's a liar and that the culture continuously is nudging us towards accepting pedophilia.
You think that's where this is all heading, with sort of like the LGBT, where we're going to eventually...
Well, Alan Dershowitz made a very prudent argument that the age of consent is too high.
Yeah, that was an insane clip.
Which is a very innocent thing to do as the man who got Jeffrey Epstein basically off scot-free.
You guys, was he on Alex's show?
Yeah. We asked him some questions he didn't like.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he'll be coming
Did he
back
elaborate? Did he say what he thought?
No, he kind of clammed up and tried to move on.
Ah, fair.
Yeah,
it's very unbecoming of you guys to try to ambush him like that.
Yes, poor Alan Dershowitz.
Gentleman and a scholar.
Won't someone think of Alan Dershowitz? Hasn't he suffered enough?
We're just gonna go, hey, why don't you elaborate on, like, when do you think the kid should be? At what age is a good age for the kids to be?
This episode's been very heavy on the pedophilia. Can we move on to a topic? Like,
well, I was talking about Sabrina Carpenter. All right, I guess that's another.
I mean, that's also like, I'm looking at pictures of her.
Pedophilia.
It's very close to, like, she looks like she's 12.
Yeah, she does. I don't like her.
She does.
I don't like her visage. I don't like a lot of things about her.
How old is that girl? I don't even know, dude.
Well, that's what
Old
they
enough
do,
to party.
though. I know we were supposed to be moving on because Top is uncomfortable, but I like when Top is uncomfortable.
I just like to talk a little bit more about David Wilcock, if that's
fine, guys.
Yeah.
Could you join us in a hard and abrupt segue towards David
From
Wilcock?
Pedophilia to David Wilcock, which I'm sure.
Well,
I don't
maybe
think
we
that's
can
really
loop
much
the
of a segue.
pedophilia in.
Yeah, well, they say politics is like theater.
Yeah. So I think where we last left off in this very voluminous tale of David Wilcock.
It's been a really good few weeks.
So
what's he been up to?
He had predicted I always feel like a crackhead when I have to explain this because there's so much my head is like that chart.
Yeah, we need we need that chart for David.
There's a million things in my head. The very quick redux on David for those unfamiliar. He was on Ancient Aliens. He was an ancient astronaut theorist. He says he left the show because they had John Podesta on. The real story is he was too crazy for Ancient Aliens.
Yeah.
He started another show.
They had John Podesta on Ancient Aliens?
I think he was a consultant for an episode because he was working. He was in like those To the Stars emails.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but
what's his
John Podesta is tied into pedophilia in a really massive way. All right.
Wow, I've heard.
Yeah. Wait, John Podesta?
The John Podesta?
Yeah,
The
believe it or
Democrat
not.
operative, John Podesta. You're telling me he did something inappropriate with children?
That's what I've heard. I don't know, but we're not supposed to talk about it anymore. We have to move on to the alien
All I know
segment. So please,
That's
got a great art
that's not the
collection.
John Podesta I know.
he's got a great art collection, a really cool art collection, and he's got a great kid, a really talented kid. Well, God rest his soul. So all right. So he's Stephen Wilcox. David Wilcox removes
Isn't that
himself.
the bodyguard from like Maury, Steve Wilco?
How dare you? He has his own show, and he's got his own moon map, and I'll
My
kill him.
apologies.
I will kill that man.
So, suffice it to say, David's career had kind of fallen apart. And then in 2021, after his wife left him, he really started going insane. He says he channeled works between 1996 and 1998. At the time, he said it was the soul group Ra from the Law of One. In 2021, he decided it was actually the Archangel Michael who had been talking to him. And he started going back through those readings and interpreting them. He said they're a time loop, so they predict the present. In those books, he had said the last possible date for the ascension was Memorial Day 2025. And as you'll notice, that was in May. In the world, we have not ascended. At least I haven't. Maybe everyone else has.
Yeah, can you guys fly?
Shoot lightning from your hands?
I haven't
well,
tested
go to the
it.
top of my. We'll go to the top of your building and find out.
Give a leap. I think so. That has not been going well for him. But the much more interesting update, and I don't think we touched on this in the first episode. David, in 2016, he started investing in a company called Stavati Aerospace.
Yeah.
Now, Stavati Aerospace is theoretically an aircraft.
On paper.
Yes, they've been around since the 90s. They have never produced a product. And starting in 2016, he invested over $1 million in this company. And when he was making a ton of money from Ancient Aliens and that was all well and good. But we've reached a portion in the timeline where he really needs that money and he needs this company to pay off. And they just keep, in my opinion, is basically a Ponzi scheme. They're milking him for his money.
Yeah.
But the most interesting development is in about 2023, David was thinking about leaving. So they kept having to tempt him to stay on. So they kept telling him they had deals. Deals were being signed. We're going to be fabulously wealthy. And the deals started, I think the first one was like $2 million. And the ruse here is every time one of the deals falls through, the subsequent deal is for even more money. And because David is narcissistic and stupid, he just believes it because he wants to believe the thing that makes him rich. So we started the first deal, I think it was 2 or 3 million. And then we went to 5 and then 10 and then 30, 50, hundreds of millions. We got up to billions. And then as of about a month or so ago, David, he signed 2 deals, 2 totally real deals. One
Real as hell.
is for about $600 billion, and his company is going to replace every single aircraft in existence.
We did the math, and it's quite literally basically every commercial airliner currently in use would be replaced.
Yes, it is 10,000 planes, which is about the quantity of 737s that have ever existed. That
Stephen,
deal,
he
that
has
deal.
a strong background in aerospace engineering. I don't understand.
No. He had a dream where he was told he's the godfather of anti-gravity technology.
Thank you for that. Yes, Archangel Michael told him he's the godfather of anti-gravity.
There he is.
Hell
He
yeah.
keeps all his secrets up there.
I
in his
love
forehead.
that picture.
There's our guy. There's our buddy.
But the
beautiful man.
$600 billion deal, that's small potatoes. The real deal, and the reason he joined Stavati, is to create, as Brandon said, he's the godfather of anti-gravity. He's creating hover cars, and they have signed a $1 trillion deal to produce hover cars.
That's
so
incredible.
for a company that has never produced a product, now has about $1.6 trillion worth of deals.
Yeah,
That's
and
not
he's going to
suspicious at
sue
all.
us. He's going to sue us and have us killed.
The other complicating factor here is David is, he has been saying that. He said we're terrorists and we're going to be put
he
to
doesn't
death.
like you guys.
No, I don't know why. We're very nice. to
No,
him.
David's going to be my friend. That's how this is going to end. I'm
Have
going to
you
be
guys-
buddies with David.
Have you considered, clarifying what it is? Because I think he's just misinterpreting what you're getting at. I don't think that you guys are malicious, and I don't think that you even dislike David Wilcox. I would say you guys are fans.
Well, I think we're the only people left who still like David, to be honest with you.
When
I think
we
what you need to
started
do
all
is
this,
you need to offer him a deal.
I have. He pays people $2,000 a month to monitor his live chat from trolls and trolls on Twitter. And I've told David for $2,000 a month, I'll stop. We are really cheap for $2,000 a month. I'll move on.
We'll shut down the show.
Yeah, that's plenty of money to buy me off. So
it seems like if you took that deal, you would put the other guys out of business, right? Because then what is there to monitor if you guys aren't
right?
Yeah, well, it's a two birds.
We're pretty convinced they actually don't even do anything. We think they're just taking his money.
Everyone is just taking advantage of it. And the most beautiful thing is when he thought he was going to be a trillionaire, which he still does. He started talking a tremendous amount of about, like, I'm going to sue these people. I'm going to ruin their lives. Now, a complicating factor here. He is involved in a court case where he failed to produce documents. That's in Cosmic Disclosure. He did a show with a guy named Corey Goode. Corey Goode was a galactic liaison who later, under oath during a deposition, said he made the entire story up. But we can go into that if you'd like. It's a crazy story.
Corey Goode, I do hate. We'll get to him after we finish.
Yes, quickly with the David thing. He thought he was going to have $1 trillion and was going to hire a very high-powered lawyer to represent him in this court case. He just last week represented himself in court, and it could not have gone worse for him.
The fever dream we came up with of him representing himself in court has come true.
It was so. In the court case, he was supposed to search his emails and provide a list of the results to the plaintiff.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that. But during when he's being questioned by the judge, for some reason, he blurts out, he's like, my old lawyer told me not to say this, but I didn't actually use that word to describe this thing. I used a completely different word, which led to the judge then expanding the search terms. So David is, he has until the first of next month.
Funny. So wait. So his legal counsel says, don't do that thing. He says, I'm now going to represent myself. And then addresses the thing that his legal counsel suggested he do not talk about, and then it ends up him over.
I think he said his lawyer was dying.
Yes, which I've since found out that is not true. He said the real reason his lawyer didn't represent him is his old lawyer requires a $50,000 retainer. David, as soon as the trillions come in, I'm sure they'll be back together. But for the time being, as they wait on that check to clear, that's one of my favorite parts about all this is David doesn't understand how business works at all because he says they signed this deal, but he has no idea when they're getting the money, which I don't know anyone who does business that way, where you just kind of sign things and then it's some undetermined date. They give you an undetermined amount of money for indeterminate services.
One of our dear friends, Macario, on Twitter has done a compilation of all the times David has said the deal's been signed and the money's coming on, and it just keeps getting, it's like a 30-minute video at this point, spanning just
since 2019.
2019. It's just every week the deal's been signed. Papers are clearing right now as we speak.
Yeah. So he's it's the business acumen of David, or the lack thereof of David Wilcock, that makes it so that Stephen Greer gets a fancy new app, and then David Wilcock gets a bunch of empty promises.
I think David's just really stupid, and he's being the real villain of Stavati is a fella named Chris Beskar, who looks and probably is a pedophile.
He looks like Frank Zappa.
What's his name? Uglier version.
Chris Beskar, Beskar.
Yeah, so I'm pretty convinced, because David is stupid, I think they're just making fake contracts and sending them to him and being like, no, dude, it's right here. Look, sign the paperwork. And then, a week or two later, they're like,
it fell through.
Deep State ruined the deal. But we got another one coming up. And they went to, there's a few things. They went to like an aerospace conference.
Yeah, with actual aerospace, like Boeing.
Yeah, Boeing was there. So they paid a ton of money to go show up to this. And he's giving his presentation. And I think one of the people in the audience like asks him a question, and he has just a really shitty answer for it. But the fun part of that video is he just does like a little vlog in the hotel. And I forget what he's drinking, but he's like,
he said it was like a virgin daiquiri or something.
Daiquiri. And I was like, all right, sure. But
David's one of those guys. He says he got sober at 19. When he says he got sober, he was smoking weed, which, like, shut the up. That's not drugs.
Well, that's been the other fun thing that's happened is usually you can tell he smokes a little,
This guy's awesome.
medicine.
Yeah,
There it is. Yeah, that's Chris Beskar. But yeah, David partakes of the medicine every now and then. But the last few weeks, he's been absolutely blitzed.
The stress is getting to him, and he's been high on his streams recently.
At one point, he goes and he takes his bathroom break, and he comes back in his ex-wife's bathrobe.
Oh.
Yeah, he started wearing women's clothing.
Yeah.
He's
and there's
holding
another
on
one
to
where
his ex-wife's. Why did she leave him?
why did she marry him?
It does tie into Corey Goode, and I guess we can go in that direction. But did we talk? His ex-wife, we found out she had been making porn in which she was teaching women how to do a yoni cleanse, and what that involves is yourself with a cucumber.
Oh,
yeah. So there were videos of that circulating. Apparently, it's very healthy.
It's not why I do it.
Yeah. I just like the way the cucumber tastes.
Yeah, well, it gives it a nice tang after you take it out.
Yeah, you pickle it. You just leave it in there. But so this Corey Goode character who did kind of ruin his marriage, his whole story was starting in third grade. You know the standardized tests they give to kids?
Yeah.
He said that was done to determine if people had sort of superpowers, like extra sensory perception.
Is he talking about because I know that there's something up with the Gates program or the gifted and talented program, but that's not the standardized testing that everybody receives.
No, I think it's called STAR testing now or something. I don't know what it was back when he was in school.
Yeah, I think you're correct, actually. I think it is STAR testing.
But he said he did whatever. He did well on that test. So they started taking him in third grade to Carswell Air Force Base, which is here. And he was trained to be an intuitive empath, which is basically he was like a alien psychic guy. And he started going on 20 and Backs, which is a program where the military sends you into space for 20 years, but at the end of your service, you were age regressed to the moment that you first started. And then
how many trips did he make?
3. Yeah. So he's like 200 years old or something. But oh God, there's so much. The Earth is part of something called the Sphere Being Alliance. So we are allied with the Blue Avians. The Blue Avians are like 7-foot tall blue chickens.
Okay, that explains why I'm getting pictures of 7-foot tall blue chickens when I Google Corey Goode.
Yeah.
And then we're also we're allied with one of my favorite groups because everyone else is an alien, but then there's another group just called the Mayans, and they're just Mexicans in space. There's nothing different.
They like their ships are like rocks. They're just like they're rocks that float. I guess
savages that wear like grass skirts in space and throw spears. It's very racist. That's the deposition footage that ruined his life.
His glove. I love the glove. Why does he
have a glove on? Why is he wearing a glove?
Because he's cool.
Yeah, that's the deposition where he admitted he made all this up because his stupid as lawyer Valerie Yanaros, they had forgot to file the paperwork to keep it private.
Yeah.
So everyone was able to get their hands on it, and it came out.
The paperwork to keep it private, meaning like the discussions where they talked about making it up?
Yes, the deposition. So they began the deposition. His lawyer says, like, this is going to be off the record. We're going to keep this private. But then she forgot to file the paperwork to keep it off the record and private. So we got to see everything where he admitted to stealing money from other people, sending some guy to like Puerto Rico to threaten some guy he didn't like. It was it's quality entertainment.
It's great. It's on our YouTube channel if you want to go watch it. We watched the entire
I'm heading
deposition.
over there after this show. I'm going to.
But Corey Goode. He smokes a ton of weed apparently, but I guess at some point when they were doing Cosmic Disclosure, which was a show with David and Corey, Corey kind of started petering out. He sort of started running out of tall tales to tell, and the producers at Gaia started to bring in other people to replace him, which caused him to spaz the out. And he tried to start trademarking all the terms like secret space program, and then he just started suing everyone. He sued the producer, people making fun of him on YouTube. He sued them, and David, they work for a company called Gaia, which does a bunch of like alien.
Yeah, that's like people that are producing like Galactic Federation of Light. right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
That and yoga is pretty much all they do now.
But yeah, they leaked they leaked David Wilcock's resignation letter in which he called Guy a bunch of Luciferian pedophiles. So that led to kind of this whole situation where Corey has lost every single lawsuit at this point. He's now 90 grand in the hole. And I think
meaning
there's
all the
3
people
more
that he tried to press charges against for making fun of him. All the
yes,
people
they
at the
were
network.
completely frivolous. So they've all been dismissed, and we're now on the point where the judge is issuing, sort of sanctions upon him. And I think he got it was 30,000 in one case, and then just last week he got another 59,000, and that's before the guy a countersuit, which they're absolute. Corey's going to get raked over the coals on this because he conspired. The whole point of him and David leaving Gaia is they wanted to tank Gaia's stock price and then go start their own streaming platform where they would funnel all the money.
Wow.
And that blew up spectacularly. And that's why they're trying to get him to hand over his documents to prove the two of them colluded.
What state are they
in a
in?
conspiracy.
Like, what state are they even filing in?
The show was in Colorado.
Yeah.
One of the court cases was in California, but they're mostly doing it in Colorado because their lawyer, Valerie Yanaros, is not allowed to practice in most states. But in Colorado, they have very lenient, it's something called pro hoc vice, which essentially allows a lawyer to file, and then they can be a lawyer. They can act as counsel in that state without having to necessarily pass the bar in that state.
That's always good.
She also, we found out her and Corey had said that the deep state tried to kill her a few years ago. And then I got my hands on the police report a few weeks.
These
I got
people
my
are
report.
There's like
they're idiots.
There's a couple of states where you could where they're getting hit is with the anti-slap laws. Like if you sue somebody frivolously, but you could file.
Idiots. That's the most beautiful part about all this is they're literally like retards, like sub 80 IQ, but they think they're, Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes. They think they're the most brilliant men, and just everything they have done since leaving Gaia has literally ruined their lives.
It's pretty cool.
It's great.
It's pretty cool.
I'll tell you what, though. There was a time when I watched, because David Wilcox was either in or helped co-produce or some documentary that was more or less
or he stole the money from it, by the way. He didn't pay David.
Well, why not both? But it was more or less like the backbone for QAnon. So much of what we were talking about before, where there's a weird thing going on at the George Bush Sr.'s funeral, and the weird shit with Hillary Clinton. This kind of like was an additive. It was a supplementary to that narrative. I forgot what the hell it was called. I
can't think of the name right now, but
is it like Beyond Mystic or some shit? What the hell was it?
Yes, Beyond Majestic.
Beyond Majestic. That is a fun documentary. If you stop looking at it like it's valuable information and you just look at it as like a piece of entertainment, it's fabulous.
Yeah, he's good at that. I will always give David credit for this. If you want to get really high and listen to crazy stories, David's your guy.
Yeah.
They used to have fantastic appearances on Fade to Black and stuff where they would talk about David one time had to replace Corey on Fade to Black because they said the deep state tried to kill Corey. It later turned out he got like blackout drunk in an airport.
Hell yeah, dude.
He got hospitalized because he was shit-faced. But they told this whole story about how Corey went into outer space with the Mayans to go fight space marines on Uma. It's really crazy, but fun.
Dude, I mean, why didn't he just stick to being that guy? Why did he have to
greedy.
Yeah, he's greedy. That's the thing about David. David is a kind soul who's really stupid.
Yes, gullible.
Corey's a bad person who's also really stupid.
Yeah, Corey was very manipulative and kind of just lied to everyone else. But yeah, on that, the documentary Above Majestic, and I forget the name of the second one, the money was supposed to go into Corey's business account to later be dispersed to everyone during kind of, the money ended up going into Corey's personal account where he used like 90% of it, and then no one else got paid. So Jordan Sather and a few other guys got completely dicked, and he tried to cut David out of the deal. He's a piece of...
He's a scumbag.
Yeah, he's not a good guy.
So he's taking advantage of David. That seems to be
he
what's
was,
happening here.
Yeah, and they split apart because David's ex-wife had told David, like, you can't have any contact with Corey. He's going to ruin our lives. And she was right, but that did lead to them breaking up because they got served.
I'm sorry. I was going to ask you if you know much about what's going on with Stephen Greer these days, because it seems like, the last time we spoke, he's only become more of a moving part in this, whatever the government may be interested in serving up as disclosure. It seems like they dangle that carrot occasionally, and it seems like Greer has really found himself as the comfortable mouthpiece for much of this information, to the extent that they're even allowing him to use this app that he has where people are allegedly calling in UFOs. And it's like he's finding himself as a more of an official talking head on the matter.
Have you seen his dating profile?
Yeah. Speaking of mouthpiece,
look up DC Muscle Wolf.
Yeah.
Stephen Greer.
No, excuse me.
Talks. Yeah. It's called the name of the website. It's like manmeat.com.
It's like some old school obscure like hookup website.
But yeah, it's a picture of naked
what was
Stephen
I supposed to
Greer.
look up? DC Muscle Wolf, because that turns out to be a DC comic.
Muscle Wolf. Let me see if I can DC Muscle.
Yeah, he likes to
Yes,
that's pretty cool.
That was his dating profile. He doesn't like bossy bottoms, but he likes just.
Oh well, I mean that's nice. He's a giver.
I can't find it either. Maybe they buried this.
Yeah, because all I'm finding is they made a comic book character called DC, or it's a Muscle Wolf. It's Muscle Wolf, and it's for DC Comics, which to me is like, damn, talk about a level of damage control. Who did that for you? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, damn, they memory.
That it?
Yeah, I do.
There it is.
I do have it. He's into JO.
Yeah.
Group play limit buddy kissing. No
Can you
P&P,
share
no
that? Can you
play.
share that to the thing?
I don't
know.
Just DM it to him.
Yeah, let me DM it to.
Yeah, DM it to me. I would love to see Stephen Greer's dating profile.
Just copy the link.
Which is great. I mean, if you're in the community and you're looking for a muscle-bound psychopath, who better than Stephen Greer? No.
Look, if you're, he is a pleaser, is what we learned from his dating profile.
That's nice.
And I mean, look, he's the prototypical bear, so I bet he does,
just
treat you well.
All right, so I've got it here. Excellent. Let's share this tab instead. This is great. Do you have this? You want to pull this up top? Okay, great. Let's read this. 6'4", 225 athlete, natural bodybuilder. I don't even disagree with any of that, by the way. Is that his dick at the bottom?
Man.
I should scroll so that it's not his.
Did I send you an uncensored one?
This is on Patreon, right?
Right, that's right. This is what the people pay for. Stephen Greer's.
Well, I can't really do anything about that at the bottom. So we're just going to continue reading this. I can't scroll up. The masculine, big muscle guy here. Enjoy other in-shape guys who are athletic.
Why are senators tagged in this? I
wait,
don't understand. Yeah, on the right side there, the disclosure revolution, they're tagging Donald Trump and Schumer and Nancy Mace.
They want them to see this. DC muscle.
You gotta see Stephen Greer's. This is important
for disclosure.
This is important. By the way, it's done nothing to derail him from his disclosure and his relationship with the government. So slim to muscular is what he's looking for. I am genuinely nice guy, fun, passionate, into the connection with a guy. I am 8 inches and cut. God bless him.
Nice.
Wow,
love
very
oral
impressive.
and am great at it. So like other masculine tops too. Very good. I like white or Latin. He doesn't say it, but he says it. You know what I mean?
That's his middle name.
Yep.
Stephen Greer.
18 to 40, so that's a really wide age range. Not into not into drugs, not into overweight or bossy bottom guys. Please, no drugs. I respect that part, the no drugs part. Good on him.
He must have had a very bad situation for him to mention no drugs 3 separate times.
The gays just love, as we learned from Glenn Greenwald.
I was in rehab with a guy who he had a plan that we called the D squared plan, which is he was going to flee in the middle of the night to go get drugs. So he left rehab, met a guy on Grindr to go smoke, and then like 2 days later they found him in a bush on the side of the road.
Nice, dude. Hell yeah.
High on.
That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, rehab had a lot of cool guys.
So he dismounts with it. He says, and remember, the ultimate cool is to be nice even when you are buff and VGL. Now, I don't know what VGL is, but doesn't that feel like a sign-off from like G.I. Joe? Like, remember, kids, stay in school.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Say your prayers, eat your vitamins.
Eat your ass.
Is great,
Yeah.
When away, I don't know what that means. Ethnicity white. Where? At my place. Status negative. So he is not. He's not pissing hot for STDs. He says into. I get into. Yeah, that's right. JO. One-on-one.
Are we doing the wrong thing? Like, are we? Because
I
guess.
Are you saying should we be on?
I feel like these people, they're all crazy. Like, we're not that crazy, but we're in the same lane. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, yeah. This is, if you're doing conspiracy, lumps you in with the most insane people in the world. It's kind of unfortunate we're all under this giant umbrella because there's relatively normal people, and then there's old Greer off to the side here.
You think you?
Yeah.
Well, he chimps out.
He embraced his either monkey.
Yeah.
He does look like a monkey a lot.
He looks like an albino chimp.
He does look like an albino chimp. Man, that's crazy. And then, of course, if you look at the hashtags, one of them is hashtag congressional hearings, which is what they've done. That's a very funny thing to do. Actually, they've put that hashtag in there twice. 2 times it says hashtag congressional hearings.
Well, we gotta bring him up in front of the court and ask, do you indeed like
Yes, for the record,
Dr. Greer. Well, I am a doctor.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's something that happens very often, right? So I guess it's now confirmed within the alien disclosure genre as well, but it's like when you thought that the Republicans were based and cool, right? They were actually all gay.
Politics is theater.
Yeah.
So
politics is theater. And who engages in theater but the gay
guys.
The guys.
Right. Nope, don't bring it up anymore.
No, I was going to bring this up because this is crazy. It's just
I love this. This is the greatest shit ever.
Yeah, it's just him saying, and
we're gonna get because I am.
I'm being interviewed by DJ Vlad,
and we're gonna get to much of this. President Clinton.
R.I.P. to Cosmic Judas, I think, who made this.
Oh, he's dead?
No, I think his account got banned. Or maybe he's dead. Who knows?
It's basically the same as being killed. Thing. Yeah, he might as well.
I thought Stephen Greer had him killed for that video. I was like, no.
Might
he showed up personally.
Yeah, him to death.
Like Tom Hanks.
Yeah, 8-inch hammer, dude.
Oh my god. But okay, so my point is to say here that everybody thinks they have their heroes, right? And then so much like a Albert Pike kind of a scenario where it's like when the people need a hero, we shall provide a homosexual for them. That's what keeps happening over and over again. So you think you've got a guy, he's in your corner, it's Stephen Greer, he's muscular and he's bringing you alien disclosure. What more could you want? I want my alien disclosure mouthpiece to be a muscular one, right? I mean, that's cool. Looks like Donkey Kong. Honestly, the guy could have been really cool if he said all the right and didn't have an engage in play. But here we are. That's your guy. That's the guy that they serve you up for alien disclosure. Is this
Doesn't it make sense they would do that, though, to like pick a guy who they have sort of compromising information about? And that way, if they ever needed to shut him the up, they'd be like, hey, we want everyone to see your manmeat.com profile or whatever it is.
But that's the thing is like,
maybe.
What sort of compromising, how compromising is it if you have a public profile on manmeat.com? I mean, it seems like
if I were him, I would have leaked that myself. If my was 8 inches, I would have bought billboard space.
Yeah,
it's definitely leaking.
It's also just like, it's not even that crazy to be anymore. Like, it's kind of insane that still works as blackmail.
Yeah, it's kind of blasé these days.
Yeah,
those days are behind us.
Yeah,
I want to see
something way weirder.
If we have any, do you guys know whether or not, and I'm trying to do a Google search on this, if Stephen Greer has ever alleged to have been channeling any of these entities? Because I think there's a tremendous overlap between channeling and being
CE5.
Yeah.
But CE5 is different from channeling. CE5, I think, is your sort of meditating and mentally contacting the aliens, but he doesn't go like full Bashar, who channels the entity.
Bashar's pretty cool.
It's interesting that Stephen Greer says there are at least 69 alien species, according to him.
Yeah.
Like, why would you say
Which
that?
I thought he used to promote the 57, the Heinz 57 variety from that.
Delicious,
God, I can't think
but
of
he's
his
since
name.
learned that there are at least 12 more varieties of entities. Interesting. He explains the distinctions between various non-human entities. I love that. I love the idea of being an authority on the intangible truth of the distinctions between 69 varieties of non-human entities. I'm a big fan of that kind of a claim, because not only is it it's unprovable, you can't prove it, you also can't disprove it. It just makes him so much cooler. I love a dude that another man and then stands up and goes, "Did you know the difference between the tall avian variety and the tall whites? There's actually quite a bit of difference there. Let me tell you about that."
So I'm saying, like, what are we doing? Why are we even bothering not lying like this? Like, we should be.
I think is the takeaway.
You guys
well, then we have to lie about it too.
You guys
it's
don't
not
lie?
enough to just have the. You have to then lie about it in a fantastic way. Honestly, there's
that
something
has been
there.
my takeaway from following David, because really David has almost never said anything true.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, he was making $6 million a year, and I keep saying this to him: we have to pick our lie and just stick with it. You gotta. It's important to kind of thread the needle. You gotta lie big, but not too big. So one of the.
If you do a show, like, if you tell people that it's a lie, does that count? You know what I mean? Like, let's say you did a show and it was called Only Lies, and that's all you did. You showed up every day with the most extravagant lie possible, and you dished it up in a fantastic way. Would that count, or does it need to be served up as the truth, I wonder?
I think sincerity is a very important ingredient here. You have to make people believe you believe whatever dumb you're saying.
Works for CNN.
Yes.
They're pretty good at it.
I'm looking at Stephen Greer's. I don't think it's 8 inches.
God.
I don't
You
think
think
it's
he's
8
lying?
inches.
Oh,
I
he's
think
lying? Is that?
Wow.
lying.
False flag.
Look, some
he's a
things you
big
don't
guy.
lie about. Okay, some things that's over the line.
He's
buddy.
a false fag.
Yeah.
Banger.
You know what it is? It could just be he's 6'4" and muscular.
Power 7 inches.
It just doesn't look that way. Yeah, I mean, I would give him maybe a 7. I don't think it's an 8-incher. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But who am I to judge Stephen Greer's?
He's known to exaggerate, so I guess
Seems
that
that way.
fits.
Stephen Greer.
Yes.
He exaggerates.
Yeah, Stephen Queer.
The doctor. Known. What does he practice?
Medicine very poorly. I think he's an emergency medical specialist.
Yeah.
Although then
that's-
a few months ago there was that was sort of up for debate, because they found that newspaper clipping where he didn't really have enough time to go to medical school, and then he was over in Israel for a while.
What was he doing in
weird shit
Israel?
Jew shit.
Dudes,
Yeah.
bro. Breaking out that Hebrew hammer. That's what he was doing.
It is the LGBT capital of the world.
Give him
It's Tel
some
Aviv.
Iron
So
Dome.
let's see. He's giving you that Iron Dome. Does anybody contest that Stephen Greer is a doctor? Stephen Greer's education unraveling the academic journey of a UFO pioneer. Are you fascinated by you? I don't know. I don't see anybody contesting that idea. I think, why would you?
It was on. There was some guy on. What's that? Danny Jones.
Jones did an interview with
I don't remember the other
some
guy.
fat white guy who
which is
brought up
90% of conspiracy
yeah,
theorists.
that's just most of them at this point. But yeah, he was the one who was like, Stephen Greer's and Jewish, and we're like, I'm listening, and then
and then he
like,
ends up
well,
being
he's not even
correct
a
on
doctor.
that front.
That's
Yeah.
where we're like, I don't know what to believe. I thought he just oozed heterosexuality, and here I am.
Yes, in his lispy voice.
Yeah, I've been
I
tricked
thought so,
again.
too. Have you guys used the CE5 app?
No, I think you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. I think it's like $10, but
That's too much.
I always wanted to go to one of his retreats, but then I found out he charges like $5,000 and makes you sign an NDA.
Oh, and then he shows you that it is 8 inches.
Yeah, that's disclosure. Is what Stephen Greer shows you.
Well, for
The
$5,000, sign me up. Yeah, yeah.
The
I want to
second
see
your
his
pen
special
departs from the
briefing.
paper.
Yeah, I'm trying to see his orbs.
Yeah.
I wonder if it is because people say they have success with the CE5 app. They say that they're able to call in UFOs and there's even some
people
videos.
say a lot of things.
They do say a lot of things.
I think we all have to remember people are by and large.
Yes.
Which is why I think voting is stupid.
You know
I've never
why?
once been walking around in public and I've been like, yeah, you see that fellow over there? I want him to decide my future. That sounds like a really good idea.
Don't you guys?
Say
Don't
the
you
line.
dare say? Don't you
I just feel like there's a reason that you wouldn't, because
What
at
could
the
it
end
be?
of the day,
Yeah.
it's
Some sort of play?
like a play. I would say maybe a movie, but
Uh,
A theatrical production, per se?
yeah, I would think that's a good way to theater. It's
okay. I've never heard that before.
Yeah. That's a good quote. That's a good
Yeah.
quote. Yeah.
You should
Yeah,
put that
yeah.
on a shirt.
Yeah.
you might actually you might be able to say that at its highest levels, politics is theater.
Wow. That's
Amen.
very wise.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's the message we're
Profound.
going to leave people with today.
I think so.
Politics is theater.
Yeah.
I think if you learned anything from this episode, if you didn't learn anything from this episode, you should at least take away that one nugget of valuable truth, and that truth is that at the highest levels of politics, it's all theater.
Yeah, and if you didn't take that nugget away, you'll hear it next episode.
Yeah.
anyways.
At least
three
three or
times.
4 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the star of this production is Deputy Director Dan Bongino.
Thank you,
Salute
Dan
to the
Bongino.
deputy.
Yeah.
I appreciate
my,
all his
my
support.
guy.
Also, I know we meant to talk off air, but not Stephen Greer. I'm sorry, it's just on my mind. All 8 inches of him. General Flynn recently dropped us. He just dropped us. He didn't say why. He didn't. There was no correspondence. We noticed the funds didn't come in. We reached out to his team, and they said that unfortunately, due to circumstances that they can't get into right now, will no longer be associated with General Flynn. So I just wanted to say that we're open. We're now free agents, and if any of the 9 different Dan Bonginos are looking to pick up some talent, we're
the
open
Asian
to a
one.
discussion.
I think I'd trust him the most.
He pays on time.
You don't want Puerto Rican Dan Bongino. And
I definitely don't want Black Bongino. That's not what No.
Yeah, white Bongino maybe, but
I don't know if I
prefer-
feel so great about him. Asian one, and then Island Bongino. Those two seem to be the most
Deputy
promising.
Director. Oh yes, you go and make a podcast. Call it David Wilcock. He
I'm making a T-shirt right after this of like 9 different Dan Bonginos.
Like the Brady Bunch
Yeah.
opening, but every window is a different Dan Bongino.
Oh, it is. It's like Marvel. It's the multiverse of Dan Bongino.
That's true.
Yeah.
By the way,
Enter the Bongino verse.
the Bongino verse. I did notice the shirt, and that is a fantastic shirt. They don't understand the
dude.
things I say on Twitter. Wow, beautiful. Thank you very much for the support, boys. Guys, this has been a enlightening conversation. I learned much. Where can people find your work before we get out of here, before we shut this down?
Hidden in Plain Sight Radio on YouTube. We're Hidden in Plain Sight on all the podcasting apps. We're at the Hidden Pod on Twitter. We are at what is the Hidden in Plain Sight Pod on Patreon.
Yep.
Is that a screenshot
Episodes.
from
Yeah,
from his
that's
show?
one of David's presentations.
Yeah.
He said he very tearfully said, "No one has ever mocked me for being." Before,
Yeah.
which is the funniest thing I've ever seen a guy say. But yes, that was part and parcel with that portion of the presentation.
Yeah. So we got episodes Sunday, Friday, and then the live streams on Saturday are pretty much just whatever we find.
And there's a Patreon episode every week where we're pumping out the content for a week.
Yeah, you guys, I will I'll see you guys go live, and I'll always click on it because I genuinely think you guys are some of the funniest people, especially in this conspiracy community where everybody's very and everybody tries to present things in the most serious fashion at all times, and they get mad when the Epstein list doesn't get released, and you guys are just wearing do-rags and drinking daiquiris and having fun. Having fun, dude. And I really appreciate that about you guys. I genuinely do catch your live streams. You guys
that's
are great.
something we've been doing with our more recent guests. Well, we didn't do it the last 2 episodes, but like we'll ask them at the very end after they present something very serious. We go, "But are you having fun?" And most of the time they're like, "I don't know what the you're talking about." No, I'm not having fun.
No, this is very serious to them, and so many times these people like literally ruin their lives chasing some random story. And yes, conspiracy, it was all intended. You're supposed to get really high and talk about Bigfoot. You're not supposed to be having an aneurysm over politics.
It's not really supposed to come true most of the time. That honestly, that ruins a lot of it.
It's kind of like an ARG. This is an augmented reality game.
But there
so
are some things that matter. Like, David, how is your Pokemon collection coming?
Ooh, oh my God! I'm so glad that you asked. Oh my God! I'm so glad that you asked. I am, I think, 16 cards away from the entire complete original set. That's how it's coming.
Wow.
And we have
big news.
NDS Studios. It's going up on the wall in the studio so that people come in and they go, what the type of is this? And I go, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, dog, you're pretty close. It's impressive.
I am pretty close.
Dude, that's awesome. That you got to start doing the big content now. Is people open the packs and they do the card reveal.
But I can't get down with the new. I can't get, if I somehow got packs of old cards, I would be into it, but I can't get, the new ones are just so stupid. I don't know, but yeah, it's coming along fantastic.
And my sneaker, I've been buying used, what I do is I buy used Jordans. Every time we get paid from Patreon, I go on Whatnot and I buy used Jordans. They're real, but they're used, pre-worn by a black person.
Yeah, which ones, what number?
My favorite, my favorite is the 7s. I have 4 pairs of the 7s now. I have another pair coming today, so I will have 5 pairs of the 7s. Yes.
Nice, by the way, this is the big show, so I have to shout out Herman TCG on Whatnot. He's also NPC The Gathering in the chat sometimes. If you guys are on Whatnot, if you're a Pokemon or any kind of card, find Determined TCG. That guy is awesome. He hooked me up with about 70 cards last week, dude. And I'm eternally grateful for it. So, yeah, man, it's coming along. When you guys come out. Also, one more thing. I would love for you guys to be at the next Bohemian Grove. I think that we do a conspiracy roundtable, and it tends to get a little bit rigid.
You know what? I'd like to address something because they are like a degree of separation, or maybe a couple degrees of separation from this.
From General Flynn.
No, so a couple months ago, I was somebody sent me Louis J. Gomez's show, and on that show, Alex was on, and Alex casually brings up, he's like, "Oh, isn't he the guy that didn't pay Mersh?"
Oh my God! Yeah.
And I was like, "Are you kidding me, Alex?" So this is I've already addressed this like multiple times, but Mersh is an alcoholic.
Yeah, he is.
Yes. And he's a all right. It's crazy. I don't even remember the details, but like we just aired an episode, which is actually kind of funny, of us going through the private DMs that I had with Mersh about him coming to the first Bohemian. I was like, listen, it's bare bones. Like I'm probably gonna lose money, but you guys are less than an hour away. If you want to come and chill and perform. And they were like, sounds great. And then months later, this nigga's like, you never paid me. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I ask him in the private DMs, I go, how much money do you want? And he goes, you can't afford me. And I'm like, all right, this guy's drinking. And then keep in mind, I will say this again. So tell Alex, because this was bullshit, man. Because this goes on like Louis J. Gomez's show, who I also had business with, I worked for. And so I asked him, how much do you want to get paid? The guy's like, you can't afford me, yada, yada, yada. Right. And it's just like goes on forever. So finally, I'm like, you know what? Here's the DMs between us, between your co-hosts.
You know, you missed that part. When you said, how much do you want to get paid? And that's all he said. And then he goes, you can't afford me. And then he leaves it alone. And then he apologizes. He's like,
then he apologizes. Sorry, he goes, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got carried away. And then like months.
Shit.
Yeah.
I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, he brings it up again months later. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then I got to see it again months later on a show. And I'm like, are you serious with this shit?
So tell Alex Stein that we do pay people.
Prime time with Alex Stein, Tuesday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Time. Check us out. We got some good stuff coming up this week.
I hope, but do you guys, can you make it to a Bohemian Grove for the love of God? We'll figure out. We'll pay you. We won't treat you like
I wanted to go. I wanted to go this year, but I had just like gotten onboarded for a new job, so I couldn't cut out.
When's the next one? Can we play Pokemon cards at it?
I don't know how to play Pokemon cards, but I'll learn. I just collect them.
Honestly, I don't either. That's the funniest part of Pokemon is I tried to play the card game like once, and
it sucks.
It sucked. It's no Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh was fun to play.
I hear
the
that
Pokemon
Yu-Gi-Oh
cards
crushes, but
yeah, the
there's
Pokemon
a
cards are
between
just
our people.
Yeah, fun to collect. That Charizard, I'm assuming, is the one you're waiting on.
Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, and then a couple of other smaller cards. But yeah, I mean the big three, I don't have them, and they're going to cost me a pretty penny.
Yeah, so you're missing Beedrill.
They're expensive.
You're missing.
I am Beedrill. I am missing Beedrill.
You're missing Doug Trio. So anyone's out there?
Clefairy, Clefairy, Beedrill, Doug Trio, and then the birds. Two of the legendary birds got a great.
Legendary
Zapdos,
birds. Yeah, I mean you're close.
Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno.
I got a great.
I know game. I know ball. I know ball.
Yeah, if you know anybody, send them my way. I hope you guys will be at the next one because very despicable
When's the
that
next?
you weren't
When's
at
the
this
next one?
Probably.
When's the next?
I'm thinking December, January, something like that. We don't know if that's a bad time to do it because of the holidays or if it's a good time to do it because of the holidays. Like, buying tickets for people is a good gift. If a chick's got a boyfriend or a husband and she goes, oh, he's going to love tickets to this thing. You know what I mean?
Well, keep us updated. We'll find it.
Yeah, let's try and make it work.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Top, take us out of here.
I don't really know how to take us out this time.
Just do. It's the same time. You do it every time. It's the same.
I know. I don't feel like saying the same thing again.
But it's good.
Well, politics is kind of like theater.
You got to say the same lines. You rehearse. You practice.
Yeah.
Go ahead, David. Say it. Say it. Take us out.
The thing about
let's just end on 10 seconds of silence.
I like that.
Okay, here.
Yeah.
Let's just stare at each other.
The greatest hypnotist on planet Earth is a oblong box in the corner of the room. It is constantly telling us what to believe is real.
You can persuade them that what they see with their eyes is what there is to see. You can't. Because they'll laugh in the face of an explanation that portrays the bigger picture of what's happening. And they have.